Joined us now, Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz. Congressman, we've been harping about this for 3 months now, but now we're actually seeing it. Spikes in more than 20 states across the country, hospitalization rates going up. Is there any chance that we're going to get through this portion of the pandemic without it getting much worse before it gets better?
We're going to get through this. And how bad it gets depends on several factors. One is the capacity of our healthcare system, which the good news is that hospitals in our valley have increased their capacity with more ventilators, more hospital support to address any surge. The other thing that is going to depend on is whether or not businesses and clients and workers and individuals practice the precautions and wear a mask when they're outdoors near people, wash their hands frequently, and keep their distance from one another, even when they're outdoors. Right now, we're seeing a rapid rise locally in the valley. We're seeing a rapid rise not only in cases, but also in hospitalizations. And it takes time for the disease process to get to a level where you're going to see a rise in the ICU cases as well. And regardless of our capacity, some patients just are not going to respond to ventilators or ICU care. And there's going to be more deaths, as evident of the numbers over this past weekend in the county.
Yeah, we talked to Dr. Contaxis yesterday. He said hospitalizations for COVID-19 doubled at Eisenhower over the past week. I'm assuming it's pretty much the same for Valley's other two hospitals. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, it's difficult to think otherwise when, as one Coachella Valley, the patients go to either JFK, Desert Regional, or Eisenhower. So it's very important that Tenet and those other hospitals also participate in transparency and let the community know what their resource utilization percentages are, so they can be good neighbors along with Eisenhower Medical Center.
Orange County last night, more than 100 residents there lined up to demand that they not pass a mask mandatory ordinance in that county. Also, a man was kicked off, I believe it was a United flight today, for refusing to wear a mask. Is that our biggest battle now, getting people who think it's their right to not wear a mask?
You know, our biggest battle is going to be to make sure that people follow all the precautions, not just the masks. However, the masks is like the public health measure of wearing your seatbelt. It's a risk calculations. There's known proof that wearing a seatbelt will increase your likelihood of surviving a car accident. And it is wearing a mask increases the likelihood that you decrease transmission from your droplets in your mouth when you speak or you accidentally sneeze or cough, and it decreases its travel and therefore the risk of other people getting infected by the person who would wear the mask.
All right, let's talk a little politics now. We've got the medical part of it out of the way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the House is going back for a short session along with the Senate before the 4th of July break. Are you going to go back right after 4th of July, but then gone for all of August? Talk to me about the next round of relief, if it's coming at all.
Well, the round of relief was already passed out of the House of Representatives with the HEROES Act. It is a very robust package that is needed to not only help our economy, but get us through a containment phase and a possible imminent surge in the fall. And we need to do this now ahead of the surge before it's too late. And we should learn from previous mistakes from the administration and get this massive, aggressive response now beforehand. Furthermore, it extends the unemployment insurance. It increases aid to businesses and also $1 trillion to help our local cities to prevent layoffs from our first responders and our city workers who are essential workers as well during the pandemic.
Yeah, when you're passing packages that are in the trillions of dollars, certainly easy to lose track of $1 billion here and $1 billion there. But now Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says that we have no right to know what businesses got how much in any of this. What's the House going to do about that?
Oh, he's absolutely wrong. We do have the right, and it's based on our Constitution and oversight. In fact, the House created a select committee, bipartisan, specifically to investigate where those monies are going. And we have attorney generals, inspector generals from the different departments. If they last longer than Trump gets his fingers off to fire them. But there are different mechanisms with constitutional authority to ensure that the monies were spent where we needed them to spend, and to allow Congress to do its work, to provide bills, to fine-tune legislation, to problem solve and make sure that the right people are getting their monies. Now, don't forget, Steve Mnuchin initially wanted $500 billion as a slush fund for the Trump administration to give to whoever they want without any reporting, without any transparency. And that quickly changed with the CARES Act, where there was a lot of transparency and reporting. Now we just got to hold their feet to the fire to ensure that they follow the intent of the law through congressional oversight.
Right, but the first thing he did, the president, after you guys passed that CARES Act, was fire the IG who was in charge of monitoring the money. So is there any chance that Americans will know where their trillions and trillions of tax dollars went to, and whether or not multinational conglomerates got their hands on money that, frankly, they didn't need?
Yes, I'm pretty confident. I'm optimistic, and because I know the power of the people's persuasion in campaigns, making their voices heard, and the Congress will have subpoena power. There will be congressional oversight as dictated by the Constitution, and also, if there's an administration change after this November election, there's going to be reviews because this expenditure is still going to be ongoing. And so the truth will come out, and it's a matter of time. And so we're going to fight hard to make sure that that information is transparent, because the American people, it's their money, the taxpayers' dollars, deserve that transparency, to know that the money went where they needed to go, and they weren't going to a select privileged few under secrecy.
Right. And you mentioned that the latest round of relief has already passed the House. What are its odds in the Senate? Because I know that Leader McConnell has already said a couple of times that he wants to wait, or he thinks maybe that enough is enough for now.
Mitch McConnell likes to stand on the sidelines and basically take orders from President Trump and the administration. So he waves his flags and tells the Democratic House leaders to speak with the administration. So I don't really take his words with a grain of salt. If the president tells him to jump, he'll jump. And the good news is that Steve Mnuchin and the president and the administration are now talking about the need for another stimulus package. Now that provides leverage for Democratic House leaders to push the HEROES Act with whatever the administration is requesting. And so that's an opening for negotiations to have Mitch McConnell take the orders from the president to have a package that will include a lot of the stuff in the HEROES Act and be voted on in the Senate. So I believe that there is some opportunity. Again, I'm a fighter. I'm an optimist, and I will work towards making that goal happen.
All right. Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, thank you as always, sir, for your time and your expertise.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.